by your Delaware Valley Honda dealers. Dean Vickerman, the head coach of Melbern United, starting DJ Kennedy, David Barlow, Alex
to the floor. Is he going to be cocky, confident? That's what we're looking for.
And I think he is.
Yeah.
By the way, number 43, Chris Early in Australia. They play in the Australian summer. As a nice look there, and fans saying,
instead of watching the guy with the ball, you're making yourself available. Tough to cover.
As is that guy, Simmons, 6'10", 2
on an NBA roster. Never made it to fall camp, though.
Well, he was in charge of Simmons that time, and Ben just made Melbourne here early.
Advantages in height and physicality in almost every position.
By that time, Ware fell down. Fultz starting, and he takes the smaller players, you might imagine, and Casper Ware on the defensive end. And that's the starting center, the tallest. Embiid keeps it alive. Fultz has got a remarkable handle, able to finish with the left hand. Beautifully done by Markelle Fultz once again.
Great
Look at that, look at that. Oh, what a play by Simmons. I didn't think I'd get that excited.
Clever, Big Ben, I like it. Listen, you've got the advantage, too. There was two offensive players to one there. Threw it off the board, and you can see the defender didn't.
Ben Simmons piling up the assists early on. Joel Embiid, who would like to be Defensive Player of the Year. He switches out on the smaller Ware, and that is not an easy thing to do. Ware was back in 2013-14 with the Long Beach State. It was his only NBA experience. Casper Ware. Dario Saric making his way. Those changes as it becomes necessary. Simmons, beautiful wraparound to Amir Johnson. Ben Simmons has been remarkable.
To be confident about, I think, Ben right now. I'm not looking for a sophomore jinx. Boom.
You heard us talking about it.
On cue. We appreciate it. I knew Ben was going to be ready to play. This is his hometown team.
Yep.
Right?
David Barlow has nearly won a medal in basketball as that pass is intercepted. It's going to be a foul on Amir Johnson. DJ to my right, Ala Abdelabi, played in Turkey, France.
They're going to keep calling you and get to suspend adulthood in real life for one more year as JJ knocks that torpedo, right? Ian Thorpe, the swimmer. Australian legend.
And scoring last year, averaging about 23 a game. Redick getting a look, hits for a three, and J.J. Redick, whether starting or coming off the bench,
he is there right now. He looks like a much fresher, more dangerous Joel Embiid.
Now that Brett Brown has, and he left quite a legacy after 17 years at Australia. So Embiid gets two inside.
And I think it's sort of like an outpost, so to speak. If you went to Australia, no one heard from you. But now that is not the case anymore.
Right now running Jerry Bayless for the first time. Oh, with Markelle Fultz. Well, I'm not sure that Casper Ware called into Oklahoma City. And that's how the Sixers got Muscala. And that time, Fultz unable to finish, but having his back that time is Bayless.
It's got a different look now, different moving parts. It's gotten a little bit bigger. How will they be on both ends of the floor, defensively and offensively?
Rounds of the playoffs is basically intact.
Yeah, I mean, listen, we talked about it. You've got the best starting five.
Stop the run that way.
Yeah, and how about just a simple get the other team's best player in foul trouble? So now he has to sit on the bench.
Last year they played a preseason game in Oklahoma City. The Thunder playing their starters a lot of minutes in that game as Simmons continues his gorgeous passing here in the first half.
That was it, Brian Jarrett for these two.
And now you bring up an interesting point as Embiid launches and hits the three. Embiid at 31% from beyond land.
New to the game, but curious to see whether or not Ben's unique in his own space or he's just a culmination of the other guys who've had success from the line.
Saric inside for Simmons. Second time unable to finish a dunk attempt. Dario Saric.
Right now, because you shouldn't be thinking about the last one. You're thinking about the next one. Barlow with the little hit shot.
That's a guy you can't leave open.
First of all, you're assuming I read, which is your first mistake. Second of all, Listen, I know for a fact that the city in the last 5 to 7 years has really loved having former Duke players on his staff as assistants. So I would imagine JJ.
All cotton for JJ Redick. What did you think of the first half, by the way?
I thought it was amazing. Look, you guys have a team to be super proud of. Extraordinary athletes. So loved it, and we're putting up a fight. We're fighting 10 players in your NBA, and that's something we're super proud of. So we're getting people to know about Australia.
What kind of source of pride is it? You mentioned some of the Australian players in the NBA, now 10 total. Joe Ingles comes to mind.
Club standing, but we felt that we need to represent all of the basketball players in that state. So hence where we fit into the picture. For us, winning, of course, as professionals, that's what you always want to do. But being realistic, we want to and let the players also have the experience. This for them is a dream.
Larry Kesselman on
Best of 3 semi-final or best of 5 final over a 6-month period.
in Melbourne recently.
You have to go in with the attitude that we're just going to make it happen. It is definitely not easy. It's our pre-season is coming.
Give me a little taste of the difference between Aussies and Americans. Obviously, basketball is basketball, but there are certain...
The defense is something that we're pretty aggressive about. We play the game very, very close. It's very much a team game as well. So
Yeah, a nice list of Australians currently playing in the NBA.
yeah, there's I think as many as 12 now that are officially playing ball.
Mike Muscala, that's what he can do, and do it he did.
Unable to do that, so we wish him the best.
Hitting that three was Craig Mullen. Before that, Sixers had their largest lead in the game. JJ Redick coming off the bench tonight, but showing fine form.
Offensively.
Amir last year, by far, the leader in Scala that time was denied. And that's Ware hitting the three. I think the only issue for Markelle tonight, maybe one or two too many turnovers, but other than that, he's looked solid.
Yeah, and then those turnovers came to binders, and then was unable to get rid of the basketball and led to a turnover. Those will get better. He'll get better at those.
And they,
It's a big deal to me.
yeah.
It's indicative of where your state of mind is. Right now, he looks confident. Nice.
Oh, what a play. Fultz with the touch pass. To make a contribution off the bench, the veteran Wilson Chandler, not playing, a left hamstring strain. Pleasure, this game 4 of the Boston Celtics second-round playoff series, the only game won by the Sixers in that series, and that's something the Sixers...
It was a regular season game later on in the year where TJ played well coming off the bench in Boston, and I think that gave Brett Brown some confidence.
Henry Shavit, who went from playing off guard to point guard in his time at Wichita State. He's only 20, right?
Okay.
Mike Muscala,
Still at the beginning of the year, they're not throwing him into the deep end of the pool just yet, but there will be some tough times going elsewhere for next to nothing. It's got to be pretty significant. TJ is an important part. If you're in red, white, and blue.
Korkmaz, I would like to become a member of the regular rotation.
Keep working.
Korkmaz, always good to see a shooter put it on the floor.
Already. Nice read, depending on where the defender was playing.
Both Furkan Korkmaz and Dario Saric competing. Sixers a solid preseason showing tonight. Starters and regular rotation players given a rest after the three. In case you're just joining us, playing a team tonight from Australia's professional league, the Standing. I mean, they are into it for these guys who are on the floor.
Well, they know how important it is for these guys, and they know they're the unsung guys on the team. Nice.
This game is now officially finished. Sixers beat Melbourne United tonight by 20.